Hey, welcome back to Metroid Prime Hunters. The temperature is 89.8 degrees. It went down 0.2 degrees. So, yeah, that's still absolutely wretched. But let's get to it. Because if I recall correctly, this is what I need to do! Oh yeah. Alright, so last time I was here, I opened this door, which was previously locked. Come on. Which was previously locked by a heat door and a force field, but we got that open, so let's continue on, shall we? Let's wait for the train. Thomas has to say his piece. Okay, well, let's get into it anyways. If Thomas is here, we can continue with what we were doing, which was going along. Now, I walked in here a bit ago, and while I was trying to escape, I walked into this area, and there were force fields, so I couldn't go further. However, I did see on this side, past this, there's a force field and that. Now, I don't know what to do about that. Okay, get off of me. I don't know what to do about that, but I'm gonna scan and find out. Controlled by a nearby console, this portable security system is placed in close proximity to valuable cargo. The beam emitted by the shock barrier can neutralize all but the most heavily armored intruder. Well, let's see how fast that hurts me. Very quickly. So we have that door, and we have this door. I believe they both lead to exactly the same place, and we're gonna fight some. Whatever this is. Native to frozen habitats, this creature depends on low temperatures to survive. The Arctic Spawn is territorial and extreme and will attack any perceived threat by hurling immobilizing shards of razor-sharp eyes. So let's get Toasty. I think was this. Come at me, bro. Press it up and maw. That's right. Why would you do that? That's just... There we go, one more. Okay, my mistake, there we go. The last one, finally. I almost pressed, I almost went to my old mouse and keyboard habits and pressed, like, E, and then the button to shift weapons. Equipped with a zoom function ideal for precision targeting, the Imperialist fires a thin and lethal laser beam with higher accuracy over long distances. Finally! At long last! Woo! When the red stain shall vanish, so shall the ancient Olympic power be manifest. That's an interesting sentence. You've obtained the Imperialist. This precision targeting weapon shoots a thin and lethal laser beam with extreme accuracy over long distances. Now, okay. Well, I'm trying to test out which button has the thing. The Imperialist can zoom in on a target, double tap the Imperialist icon, or press the zoom button after arming the weapon. Well, I'd like to find out how to arm the weapon. Oh, so the zoom is just... No, nothing. So the zoom, for the purpose of my control scheme, is the right click. I scan that? No, and if you get too close, it closes down. That's funny. That's very funny to me. Nope. Nope. Alright, well, we'll go up there in a minute. I want to check what's over here. Huh? Oh! This leads to here. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now that I know where this goes, we're gonna go right back up that place I said I'd go later. Because it is now later. I do like the red. I like the red and the blue. Very cool colors. I like it as an ammo upgrade. Interesting development. Let's zoom in farther at certain areas. Oh, because it's an enemy, so it'll zoom in closer to make the headshot easier. Well, to each their own. Alright, hold on. What's up here? Hold on. Let me see if I can make this jump. Nice. Is that just a missile pickup? Oh, what's over there? Do I know what's over there? Have I been in this room before? Oh, I almost pressed the quit button. That was not good. I don't think I have been in that room before, but I think I have to go that way. Frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But okay. Oh, yep, that's okay. Oh my god, that's a slow firing weapon. We're not using that. But okay, so that does a lot of damage per frame, or not frame, but it does a lot of damage really quickly. Very interesting. What is that noise? Why is that noise? Exiting program heavy ordnance. Oh. I'm thankful for that. That was really annoying, actually. That's very annoying to listen to. Nice. This turns off that so that I can get the key. You know what I just kind of realized? This entire game is the key collection part. The key collection part of Metroid Prime 1 and 2. It's a game structured around that part specifically. A percussive blast may destroy this column's base. I assume that means this. I am, in fact, correct. What can I say? I'm simply the best. So good, I couldn't figure out how to get to this part of the game because I completely forgot about an area. And naturally, no one could have possibly done better. Okay. Was that where I needed to go? Yes. Because I gotta get the key back here, then come back up front, go through the other red door, find out where the other two keys are, and then finish the level. Euro 3 the Limbic Artifact. That's right, boys. We did it. Music just kicking up arbitrarily. Let's go. Oh. Well, that's a bit of a shame. I was digging the beat. I was digging it, I say. I enjoyed it. Well, now hold on. Oh, what? It feels like something bit me, but there's nothing that could bite me. Is the pain getting worse? Hold on. Oh. There we go, dude. Huh? Here again. I just have a feeling that this won't end well. What do you mean? Nice. Adjusting the optical spectrum may reveal the truth. What? Spectralock 3 deactivated. Gorilla is a cancerous bloom that would wreak havoc across the universe. Well, the music's picking up again. Gorilla mimicked their cellular structure and replicated itself in solid form. Oh no. It's got some... I guess we have to break the force field. So I can then go across the other side of the roof and unlock it. Oh, hold on. Ah! Hello there. Spectralock 2 deactivated. Spectralock 1 deactivated. Whoa! A shot that could be considered difficult if you didn't have mouse and keyboard controls. The key that unlocks the key. You retrieved the limbic artifact. Excuse me? How in the world did I get up there? What if I just stop hitting me? Nice! Big damage! Hold on. Woo! Woo! Point blank. Let's go. Alright, so I seem to have missed a ammo upgrade. Hold on, can I just double jump up that? Well, not double jump up that. I was gonna try and clamber, I believe is the correct word, clamber up that. And it doesn't matter anymore. Would you look at that? Universal ammo increased. Unearthed Arcana ammo increased. Hold on. At first, we thought Garia was a comet. It crashed upon our planet and emerged as a vapor. Oh, you just breathed in the bad air. Well, to each their own. Okay, but I've opened both of these doors. I need one more. Well, it's potentially in the fault line. Actually, it would have to be on the fault line. So there's something I'm missing there. Let's go! It's not a flattering look. Huh? How would I... Oh! I see it. Hold on. You thought you had me. But you didn't. Huh? Oh! That was absolutely me messing up twice. Whoa! Now I have achieved what I desire. Ship deck portal activated. Wonderful. No, it can't be that hard. We're gonna take the risk. We're gonna take the risk. It's totally fine. It's gonna be okay. Uh-oh. Kinda like this room. This would be a little rough if I didn't have this control scheme, if it wasn't so precise. Ah! They designed all this to be played with a D-pad and a stylus, by the way. The absolute audacity to design something this fun and innovative. You don't find that anymore. Or at least you don't find it often. It was more common back in the day. Back in my day! I, the ancient man, complaining about the modern game era, where nothing ever feels good to play, because nothing requires your intelligence or investment beyond a certain point. Okay, I can probably... There we go, one. And I just like... Yes! Brother! Screw the whole puzzle. I just gotta be good. Absolutely no difficulty involved. Says man just complaining about modern games having no difficulty. Admittedly, I probably would have messed up and not got this right my first time through. Had I been willing to adjust to the control scheme and not been as resistant as I was when I first played the game. I can't actually find my way through this. This is an incredible condemnation of my previous boast. I have an idea, though. Not that. No, son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. Got him! Am I not simply the best you've ever seen? I'd say so. Or at least I'd like to be able to say so. Hello there. Activating lift. Okay, that was neat. I didn't currently need that. Whoa, now hold on. I am picking up these missiles, without a doubt. 75. Garia devoured our Olympic War 04. Garia devoured our people's life energy and grew powerful from it. Death swept across our worlds and we despaired. Okay, I did miss one. The Olympic War 11. To contain Garia, our people reduced themselves to pure telepathic energy through the process of essence transference. It doesn't make any sense, dearie. That's not even... I don't get what you mean by that. That's not... what? Yeah, I can't give him this. I can't just say, oh, don't explain it. That's stupid. That's stupid, guys. That's stupid. That's like trying to reverse the way cells transform in Prime 4 and then hitting a snag in the process. Like somehow you wouldn't have created some weird triple triple creature or some weird... Anyways, it's just dumb. I can't give you a pass on that because it's old and I like it. It's just dumb. Whoop, yellow. Olympic turret V2.7. A late model Olympic turret with improved targeting capabilities. Olympic War 05. We feared not only the extinction of our race, but the possibility that evil would sweep the galaxy, annihilating all in its path. Is there something behind that? Yeah. Guess we'll have a sniper fight here. Man, that thing fires slow. All of that sound after firing a shot, the boom. That's the whole reload sound. That's awful. I guess it makes up for the massive damage that you hit with, like, you know. But man. Boss activated. Let's go. I don't suppose you could send that bad boy down for me, could you? I'd sure appreciate it if you did. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I'll keep you in my thoughts when I leave this exploding planet. Do you think the force fields are going to stay up there? Or are they going to disappear and I have to, you know, compete with a hunter? You know, I'll never yield on the reality that Sakurai missed a genuine... I knew it. Sakurai missed a genuine opportunity to include Metroid characters and put a bunch of Gunner character types in. Because he never put a single one of Hunters in. And you might be like, well, the gameplay isn't that interesting when you actually look at Metroid Prime Hunters. Look at the opening cinematics! The opening cinematics give you more character than the in-game experience. The fact of the matter is, using those designs and like what they do in-game, which is obviously come to hunt down and stuff, they have stories, they have data, there's information on them, there's backstory. There was plenty of opportunity for Sakurai to be like, ah yes, I will put this character in there and I will give them moves based on their element and their size and shape. I will do these things. He missed every single opportunity to even put one hunter from Prime Hunters in there. And the only hunter, by the way, that we get, and this is a shame that it's the only one we get. And it's also a shame that we have to deal with Retro, who didn't do Hunters, and now they're trying to do Hunters characters. But, and admittedly, there hasn't been a lot. of information on the hunters. I had to go and see if there was like an information booklet with it. Look at that. It's so weird when, like, long distance the shot will curve to the area. Like, the shot seems to follow Samus's location, or the reticle, but not actually where it should go based on its position and trajectory at any given moment. Yep, for real. I'll do it, but I better not get a game over for it. Okay. I was gonna get angry. I hope I didn't miss a missile pack, but I really don't want to go back. I really like how there's so much insistence on using the weapons. Now, I know the momentum moment isn't insistent on using the weapons. I like how they, in the levels, require more and more of... Is it the other way? Or do we go this way? Hold on, let me check them out. Okay, it's upstairs. And out in the hall. I like how the levels, you unlock the weapon and then you have to use the weapon immediately in future. I would like if earlier weapons were required for later parts, like in this level there were frozen things and you had to melt them with the superheated lava, or you had to freeze things on Alinos with the weapons. There's a definite missed opportunity there, but I do appreciate the use of the weapons. And I do like how certain enemies are weak to certain weapons, like this one is weak to fire. So they do have enemies suffer weaknesses, and there is value in using the weapons in that way. But I wish that there were more environmental need to use the weapons. So back to complaining about Sakurai not using any of that. There's plenty of personality in the cinematics and the data given that they could have given us several Gunner characters, all exclusively from Metroid. And he's got 9 to 13 characters. I think it's 13 characters to include all of the Koopalings. There's like 9 to 13 characters from Mario. And like 7 to 10 from Pokemon. And another 7 from Fire Emblem. How can we not have any of the hunters? Any of the hunters with different original movesets that were like that are unique and fun and interesting. Spire is my top pick for like a Smash Brothers entry. Yeah, Sylix, he's the villain of the new series. Fine. Obviously he's obligatory, but bring Spire into Smash. He's a fantastic choice. A heavy with a fire weapon, like, and the ball move, like or his morph ball mode. There's so many genuinely interesting things you can do with Spire. Just Spire. You don't have to include Noxus. You definitely don't have to include Trace. Sorry, I have a personal vendetta against Trace. Ex-friend of mine was a really good sniper, and I could not beat him. I couldn't beat anybody in this game, but I couldn't beat him specifically. And until he was my ex-friend, he was my rival. So that I'll just never have. I'll never have that moment where I get to be better. So. Shut down. My brain shut down for a minute there. No, my brain needed to cool down for a second. It's 90.1. It's gone up by 3 degrees. 3, sorry. I turned my hand correctly. It's gone up by 3 degrees. Or the German 3 degrees. But there's so much you can do just with Spire. Heavy, fire-based, you know, the side B can be him going into Morphle mode and like plowing over the stage. It makes itself. There's so many template moves you already have in-game that you could use for Spire, but give him his own moves and gate and like attack speed. and he doesn't even have to be a gunner, but give him like a gunner move on his side B, have him shoot like his plasma blast, but like don't make it the central core of his kit. And it would be so good. It would be so good. It's a brutally painful missed opportunity to not put him in there. Sorry, I'm just like talking and not fighting the boss here. It's the least interesting thing to look up in the corner here and just have me rant and go on about how Sakurai missed an opportunity for ages, and we may never have that opportunity again if he never does another Smash Brothers. But like, Spire was a fantastic choice. Noxus could be a fun choice too. Ice Guy, Ice Weapons. All of them have a unique personality. All of them could be in there, and the Metroid line could have like 8 characters, and I would not have a problem. I would main every single one of them. I'd main every single one of the Metroid characters. I already play every single one of the Metroid characters in Smash Ultimate. I play Ridley Samus and Dark Samus, and I wish Dark Samus had a more interesting moveset that wasn't just discount Samus. Because, again, there's tons of personality with Dark Samus, and all that we got was discount Samus. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but they should have put all the hunters in with unique personalities and abilities in Smash Ultimate. I'll never yield that. And if they did Smash 6, I want Sylux, Ridley, and Samus as the ones in, as the representatives, and I would prefer to get more hunters in there, at least 2. I would accept only 2 extra Metroid characters, and 2 of them being the hunters, whichever 2 they were, although I would prefer Candon and Spire. But man, people be talking about how they want Geno. It's like, no, I want characters with actual depth, like visual depth and moveset depth, and all of the hunters have that. Geno's just an old character from a game barely anybody played until it got an HD remaster. I'll probably end up going through that game and be like, oh yeah, we could totally have it, but whatever. It's not important now. It may be important then, but it's not important now. Cretafid V4. The apex of the Cretafid line of cybernetic defenses, this ultimate model deploys lethal lasers and homing plasma from a mobile tower, which is already something I can tell is going to be annoying, there's an English speech thing I don't like. There's no reason, and I mean this, there's no reason to add the word very to this sentence. Like, this ultimate model deploys lethal lasers and homing plasma from a mobile tower whose casing is an offensive weapon. Why do you need to add very to that sentence? A mobile tower whose very casing. Like, why does it need emphasis? Why must you emphasize that? You could phrase it better and still have very not be part of the sentence, right? This ultimate model deploys lethal lasers and homing plasma and utilizes the casing as a weapon. Something. I'm not on my A game for reconstructing the sentence, but I'd have to spend a few minutes on it. But it's still just, you don't have to use very for everything. Very is an emphatic word, or emphasis word. It doesn't work when everyone uses it for everything. It's like adding literal. I need to stop focusing on verbiage and get to the game. A key component of Olympic military defense technology, it was designed to succeed where all others fail, which is why you would have wanted to have put these across every single one of them, and not just the last one. Stop it. Give me the blues! Give me the blues! Come on. Give me the blues. Where you at, Honky? Oh, come on. There's only 3. Just give me the shot. Fine. Wait. Ah! We're going back to missiles, man. I need consistent high speed damage. Don't you take that from me. I'm gonna sit on it until you turn it back on. Alright. 2 more. Come on. Come on, kiddo. Just turn on. Yeah, missiles are the way. Missiles are the way to go every time. Is there another one? Yes. Woo! Okay. It's just so frustrating when you see how much love and passion was put into this game, and you know that they had to make concessions based on Nintendo's choice of console. You know they had to make boss concessions. They had to simplify the boss design. So that they could fit the bosses in there with it. And it's not that the bosses are all the same, but I mean... the minor alterations, while good, are unfortunately... well... the minor alterations are good, but without proper bosses, these are like mini-bosses. Right? These aren't the kind of bosses that you want as threshold bosses. I think that's the term I'm looking for. But these aren't what? Why did that do that? Okay. But these aren't the bosses that you want for important something bosses. What is the word? Chapter bosses, whatever. These aren't the bosses that you want for chapter bosses. These are mini bosses. There's a boss in Dread, and you fight this boss several times. It's different versions every time. So the Emmys are one of these types of bosses, and then they have the Chozo warrior bosses. These two bosses are copycat bosses because they are the same boss, but they have minor variations over time. But in between the copycat bosses are big boss battles, real boss battles. So you got Kraid, you've got that thing that guards Screw Attack, I think. There's a bunch of, maybe it's not Screw Attack, maybe it's Space Jump. There's the early boss with the that you get shortly after getting at the missiles. There's a lot of bosses that just are evocative, interesting, cool, fun, and aren't copycat bosses. They have a bunch of these repeat bosses, but they also have a bunch of normal boss fights. And so all of the copycat boss fights are excusable because not only do their variations make each new boss fight interesting, but because the big boss fights are actually in there and actually cause you to have to think, and things change, like it tells the story and that kind of stuff. Whereas in this, the mini-bosses are the bosses that should be the main bosses. But you just fight them like you're fighting them in multiplayer, and the main bosses are what should be the mini-bosses. These are like gateway bosses, and they are put in the spotlight as the big bosses. When characters like Spire, all of the hunters, Spire, Kandin, Noxus, Sylex, I can never remember all 6 of their names. Trace, and what's the last one? Weevil. All of them should be a boss. It should be 6 big boss fights that handle these bosses, and honestly the game should be a little bit longer, but instead they've got inverted boss design. If, and I believe this genuinely, if we had 6 boss fights with each of the hunters, with Sylex being the most powerful one at the end with all the big flashy attacks, and these tower bosses were just different, were like gateway bosses to the other places, then I think this game would have been remembered far more fondly. It's just a case of you've got everything a smidge backwards. That's really it. You got everything completely inverted, and that's the only problem. The bosses that are your big bosses need to be your small bosses, and the bosses that are your small bosses need to be your big bosses. Because the level design is really good, especially for a DS game. The gameplay is really fun, especially for a DS game. And was upon us all, say, the chorus of dead Midwesterners. They're the chorus of dead aliens, whatever. Telepathic energy aliens. Yes, get on the ship. But I think Hunters is a really good game. I think them turning into... I think the aliens turning into a mess of telepathic energy is stupid. And I think that's bad writing. Oh, wrong way. But I think the gameplay, the bosses, honestly are fine, but I think they needed to, again, invert them, give more attention to the hunters as opposed to... Give more attention to the hunters as opposed to the towers and the slenches, and that would have made the game a hit. It was already a hit, right? But I think that would have made the game like a critical success too. And I say the game was a hit because everyone I knew who had a DS had hunters, and periodically we would all crack out our DSs and play this game. That's a hit. When everyone has the game and everyone on a dime will just pull out their DSs and play it, you're on a band trip, you're bored out of your mind on the bus, not on the bus, but you're bored out of your mind waiting for like a show or whatever, and the band director, hasn't kicked you out of band yet. But you all pull out your DSs and you play Metroid Hunters. And then you play a little Meteos, so you switch between these games, you just have a good time playing these things. Play Meteos, play Hunters, play a little Mario Party, play a little Tetris. Yeah, this was one of the banger hits of the DS era. Regardless of the critical comments, regardless of the over reliance on the tower bosses and the sledge bosses. Well, I'll look it up, actually. Give me a minute. Was it actually a hit, or am I just biasing that? Hold on. Let me look at these numbers real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Don't tell me the plot. Reception 8? 8 out of 10? 9 out of 10? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a hit. Yeah. 4th best-selling game in its debut month in Japan? Yeah. Okay, it's not just me. Right. I had genuinely the idea that this game was like... I had a genuine idea that this game was not received well. I'm glad it was received well. Because that's a good game. It's a fine game. But again, I must insist that the boss designs needed to be reversed. That the hunters needed to be the big bosses, and the towers and slenchers needed to be the mini-bosses. What's Camden's weakness? Well, I'm not quite sure, but I know that everyone's weakness is this gun. Wait. Okay. Oh, open it. Alright, let's finally find out what's in here. What was that? Oh. What an odd thing to not be able to scan. Am I really just gonna have to fight? Yep. Oh! I didn't know you could scan these things. Another modification of Voltrum technology, its high operating temperature causes reduced defensive capability against Sub-Zero weapons. Bit my lip. Guardian carcasses are jamming the door. Well, that's really good, because I'd like to get in there. Ooh, you are a toughie. Interesting. I think it's just remembered poorly because of the bosses. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Prime Hunters was really good. I'll just drop it at that. I'm wasting breath at this point. Ice Voltrum, a late advance in Voltrum technology featuring freezing projectiles. Its pulse tube cryo coolers are extremely susceptible to high temperature impact. Well, guess what I happen to have? I will not be taking another hit. Also rude. Whoop. Temporarily powering nearby that. 20 seconds? Alright, well I'm gonna have to do that again. I know, come on. Wow, really? That's crazy. Oh, Cinema 2! Electric Boogaloo. Alright, let's go. I keep hitting the space button! Got him! Temporarily revealing nearby shield cave. Excuse me, temporarily? Okay. Not happy about that at all. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. Maybe I'm gonna get it? What can I say? I'm simply the best. Truly, I have, quite possibly, some of the finest capacity in video game playing. Really, no damage from that. That's well, that's surprising. Oh, that's one key down. You got the limbic artifact. And now suffer the consequences! Guys. Okay, that one's ice, which means fire. And this one's fire, which means ice. And the next one? Where is he? Hammer, maybe Volt? You know what? I know the answer. The answer is always Volt Tackle. Alright, last time I did this, you sent 4 bots after me. So if I do it and you send more bots after me, I'm gonna get a little frustrated. Which I think is about to happen. It's just the angle. You retrieve the limbic artifact. Yep. Increíble. No enemies to fight me. No rude fellows wanting to destroy me. All right. What? That is some crazy technology you got here, guys. I gotta say, I'm particularly impressed. Oh, boss fight. I dig it. Alright. Ooh, this could be a hunter fight. But I have everything I need. What? Energy overflow. Quickly reach the... Oh, I should have saved the ship. Shut off terminal. Okay. A minute? Bro, what if I don't know how to get there? This isn't good. Bro? You better. You freaking better. Okay, there's a missile pack on the way down. Gotcha. Then I have to fight everything in resistance. Of course. Wrong one. Stop. Banging. Banging, as it were. Alright, let's go down. No, I do not like this. What are you? I'm not happy about that. Could have been finishing the level, but we're not finishing it now. Buddy? No, this. Great. Where is it? I assume somewhere else. Nope. Nothing. Good. Good. That was annoying. That's very annoying. All right. I went. Alright, that's 3. Yeesh. Yeah, we can go fight the boss now, I know. Alright, let's get out of here. Hold on. Never mind. Okay, I thought it was a secret. Not exactly where I came from. Wait, no, I don't need this. Bring me back. Don't miss the jump! Nice. Only like 35 damage. Go fight the boss. Ha! Can't stop me. And without further ado, the final Octolith boss. Once again, a boss that really should have been a mini-boss, with this boss being guarded by Silex. Or this thing being guarded by Silex. What? And like, it's not without imagination. They did fantastic work with these bosses. Again, should have been mini-bosses, while the Hunter should have been the main bosses. But Slench 4A, the pinnacle of Slench technology. This model employs 3 synapses to transfer super-cooled plasma to the energy blasters. Cryogenic projectiles can be temporarily immobilized with power suits. So you might have to hit the heat gun? Yeah. That was really interesting. Break off, brother! Oh dear. Shield is down while hovering, but the Slench may be impregnable while rolling. Evasive action is advised. What do I do? What? Oh, okay. Really? Ramming? Here we go, phase 1. I don't need to be wasting ammo, but why not? Come on, brother. Come on. Open your face hole. Alright, round 3 coming up. It's kind of goofy. You don't have to participate in this part. It's just doing a figure 8 on the floor. But if you know where it's rolling, it's no danger to you. Unfortunate limitations of the device. Why, what a rude feller. Is lunch just gonna casually land on some? It's aight. So, that, yeah, so be it, I guess. Okay, last octolith activate. Touch the strange crystal without fear. Gain the powers of the rainbow. Which, conveniently enough, allows you to have, it just lets you materialize a bag of Skittles of any type that you want, even discontinued flavors. Alino's the key. Yeah, I've been there before. To that specific room you're talking about, too. Escape to ship immediately. Okay. I'm super busy, guys. This is the wrong way, I'm sure. It's the wrong way. Why is everything out and active right now? I understand. Self-defense mechanism, but golly. You think missiles open doors in this game? Woo! Ah! What do you mean I gotta fight everything? This isn't good. Oh, good, we're good. Let's get out of here. Can I open a door with this? Yes! Hold on. Deuces! That I do. Save the game, get off this rock, and because I don't know how much longer the game is going to be, we're going to go to Alino's and do the rest of whatever it is. Because I can only assume that it's not that much. Which portal takes me closer to where I need to go? This room. I need to get to... Oh, I need to go through the other one, I think. So let's warp out of here. Not a bad battle song. But let's go this way. As I think, this will get what I want. Yeah, if I just go left, that should be fine. Come on. This way? Yeah. Ah. Silex, are you for real? Stupid. Also really happy that I one-shot him. Without a doubt, I'm really happy I one-shot him. That was awesome. Nope. Alright, here we go. Let's jump in the center and activate the thingamajig. Behold my... oh, not my power. Behold this power. Well, okay then. Severe time field disruption detected in the vicinity of the Olympic cluster. New level unlocked. Why? No, I don't. Really? I'm not even in the actual room. Yeah, it's upstairs. I want to say it's through that doorway. It's not. It's to my right. Here we go. For the ship. Pull me up. Wonderful. Okay. Let me launch the ship. They might just land back down on Olinos, I'm not sure. 5 in the center. 5 is dead, then dead center. Oobleed! Hold on. Let's land the ship. Let's go to Oobleed. In we go. Okay. La-dee-dum, jum. Well, I'm curious. We're right near the end of the game. Maybe this goes 2 hours. I don't know. Oh, I have to go. Oh, okay, what? Oh, that's the wrong one. Dealing Garia. We lured Garia into our trap. We lured Garia into our trap. The seal sphere was deployed and the creature ensnared. With Garia bound, we had to act quickly. As the death toll. Hold on, where's 1? That's 4. 1. No weapon could defeat Garia. As the death toll rose, we crafted a plan. Rather than destroy Garia, we would contain it in an interdimensional prison. 3. We lured Garia into a trap, and the seal sphere was deployed and the creature ensnared. With Garia bound, we had to act quickly. We transported Garia to its prison. It's the Doubliette. Trapping Garia was not enough, however. Additional security measures were needed. Papa sneezed for so great a threat. We forced open an alternate dimension with the alembic cannon, and the Doubliette was sent into it. The infinity void was sealed shut, never to be reopened until Samus came around, poking her dirty nose in all of our affairs, and honestly, we're all kind of upset about it, okay? Where does this go? This is a long side path. I was goofing by choosing. Hello. Hello, nurse. You've got another in tank. Get out of here. Alright, that was fun. That's where I came in. Nothing along the way. Let's keep moving and grooving. Alright, what do we got? Okay, it's a big old door with a big old entrance. And a great wealth of nothing outside the room. Let's go. Geronimo! Flank steak. Dang, guys! Everybody working together as a team. Excellent. Oh no. Oh. I don't know why you didn't take a little bit of me, but I guess it's because I'm too good, too tasty, too... I don't really have a good witty line. Analysis indicates the presence of a fragile indicates the presence of fragile biomorphic neurons in Garia's shoulders. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Periodically vulnerable to specific energy types. Alright. Superficial scan indicates Guria's body is impervious to attack. What's funny is that all everybody else did was unlock Guria. And then Guria immediately aced every single one of them. And only because Samus was late did she not get got. These crystallized colonies of cyanobacteria are highly unstable and will detonate when they contact a solid surface. Avoid contact. Yeah. Oh my goodness, is that field causing damage? That field is doing a lot of damage. Am I guessing right? No, he's using ice. I need to use fire. Alright, what is it? Trace. Oh, what counters Trace? Okay, nothing in particular. What? Hold on. Am I doing the right thing? Sensors unable to locate an upper armor vulnerability. Not what I need to know. Ah! This is the worst noise to hear. There has got to be a better weapon for it. Woo! Okay, what? Rude. It's doing damage, though. Like, it's doing consistent damage. That's all I can say. It sounds the worst. It sounds like the worst noise in the universe, but it is actually working. Battle Hammer? That was the worst noise in the universe. No damage? Yeah, scan that for me. Harmonic analysis of the central sphere suggests that it's susceptible to direct... What does it mean? What specific attack? What does what I need? What does the damage I need it to? Oh, the one that makes the most noise is the one I need to shoot it with. Okay. I don't like this. Not that. Oh my goodness, can we just move into your next phase, bro? Oh, good. Okay. It's very loud. It's very, very loud on my ears. I don't know why that specific sound is so loud. Whoa! Wait, that probably means this one. Well, not anymore. Oh, it's over. Okay. We did it. By we, I mean myself. And I'm glad, if you're here, that you're here. Well, that was fun. Question remains, is that it? Or was there like a scan goal and I didn't get it? And that would have meant that I would have seen something special. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see afterward. Really? This was an Iwata executive produced game. Wow. He was a good dude. Nintendo's gone downhill a long way since his time. In transmission. Metroid Prime Hunters. I guess that's it. Mission complete. So I must not have done enough. What's up? Record? Okay. Guerrilla Phase 1 time was 7 minutes. No Guerrilla Phase 2. Well, guess I gotta look up how to get Guerrilla Phase 2 because I missed it. I turned off the caps lock. Oh. Okay. Let's do it again. I messed up. Alright, yeah. Let's go get the E-Tank and then jump into the boss fight again. Come on. Hurry it up, I'm dying of dehydration here. Let me get some water. Why does it do that? Every now and then it just jumps when I press the C button. I don't get that. See, sorry, when I activate the scan visor, for some reason, it just jumps from time to time. Okay, so this is probably the key. So we have... let's see. Okay, so... let's see... 8... Eight, 4... I don't know. Hold on. Let me just do by color. That's gonna be 8, 4. Eight, 4, 3. What's up? What? I don't understand the sequence. Okay. Why'd I do that? Oh, let me... okay. Right, because it's saved it. Like, that's the sequence, but what is the sequence? What? There's not enough colors on that. It's spin wheel I got. It's like it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. That's interesting. Didn't know I can control that like that. that just means that that's all the keys. Maybe this is a specific sequence during the boss fight. Yeah, we've seen it before. Alright, guys, I don't have to watch it again. Oh, wrong one. Translating telepathic intercept. Spectral sequence initiated. Photon avalanche approaching cascade threshold. I don't know what that means. But I hope that's all I gotta do, right? Alright. Come on. What? Did it really just heal its arm? Alright. Alright, turn around. No, okay. Are we good in phase 2? Are we... Okay. Yeah! Blast him with all the power of the sun! Guriya 2. Oh, I'm back. Itching. Guriya's final form is impervious to all weapons currently equipped in the power suit. Alternative weaponry is required to penetrate Guriya's armor. Sensors detect that that Alembic essence is no longer present in the seal sphere. Guriya remains attached to the sphere in order to draw all remaining energy from it. What do I do then? Gunship transmission. Guriya's defensive capability has increased dramatically. No weapons currently equipped in the power suit are capable of penetrating its armor. Intense gamma radiation has been detected on the lower floor. Woo! What do you mean on the lower floor? There's a lower floor. Alright, let's get some nuke juice. Is that what I'm looking for? Omega Cannon, yes! This prescribed weapon of mass destruction was called an abomination by the Alembic Elders because of the harm it could inflict on anyone desperate enough to use it. Well, guess who's desperate? Let's get the finest weapon in all of video gaming. The single most powerful handheld weapon that could ever be wielded by man. Probably not, but you've obtained the Omega Cannon. This prescribed weapon was a really big one that people were definitely afraid of, like firing a nuke from the palm of your hand. Abomination by the Alembic Elders because it was really, really powerful and thereby really, really awesome. Ah! Got him! Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, they get... Nah. You're done, son. You're nothing to me. That's right. You've got no power here. I'm firing the nukes now. As soon as I hit you, that'll be really rough for you. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. Come on, Korea, you can do better than that. What? Getting repeatedly hit in the face with a nuke is too much for you? What a shame. I thought you were someone worth fighting. That's a bit odd, but really fast. The funny thing is that is the prettiest Samus hairstyle outside of some of the end game completion screens. And it's there for like 20 seconds. Well, 20 seconds, way too much. It's there for like 7 seconds. Honestly, kind of a shame. It's a really beautiful hairstyle. I don't know what that ending means. Maybe there'd be more to it if I got 100% scans or something, but we did it for real this time. So, excellent. Nintendo of Europe and Nintendo of America. Actual end. I hope. I hope it's not like a third condition where it's just gonna say, mission complete, maybe? I thought I actually have a frame to look at it. It is a little bit odd. Some of the hair doesn't actually look like it's tucking in. Looks like it was a fast stump thing. Anyways. Nice, actually complete, let's go! Okay. Well... Top in-game, so I don't have to repeat watch the opening cinematic. Yes. Yeah, just hop in there. Okay. Oh! Well... Yeah, I think I basically discussed most of my issues with the game during the discussion of boss fights. That is pretty much the majority of my issues. I think the level design is fantastic. I think the boss designs are fine. I think Aria, as a proper boss, is a great boss. I think the hunters, again, should be boss fights and not mini-bosses. I think you should have like a few... I think you should have a couple you should have a one-off with the other hunters and then meet them up at the end of the stage, or at the end of the level for a face-off, or maybe like 3 fights, right? One is just you battling it out with them on normal terms. The second one, they're a bit more powerful. Third time, they're the boss of the level, and you go through all the way, through all the planets and do all the stuff, and you end up facing off against all the hunters of the boss mode, or just have each boss of the Octoliths be one of the hunters as they're competing with you for that Octolith and make that fight unique and fun, rather than having them just fight amongst you throughout the levels. And then use the towers and the schlenches for other bosses. No issues with the Guria fight. Genuinely. Not even having to figure out the code manually. That's the kind of thing I would have just asked my brothers or friends what what it is. Because I'd have been like, yeah, I beat the game, and they'd be like, did you really beat the game? And I'd be like, yeah, I got through the boss fight, and then it was over. I wonder what they're going to do with the sequel. And they'd be like, what do you mean the sequel? I'd be like, well, it said, the end with a question mark, yada yada. And then I'd be like, oh, and then I'd go in and do the thing. So, no difference from me looking it up from asking a relative or asking my friends. In terms of control schemes, I think the original DS layout was the best they could do at the time, but overall bad. And I never spent enough time to beat the game with it because of how obtuse it was. On mouse and keyboard, game is fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal. What else? I think the story could be a bit more abundant. It just feels a little... It feels a little non-existent. And that sounds bad, but it just doesn't seem like it's... It doesn't seem like the story is the prime focus of the game, which is okay. Exploration and, puzzle solving is equal parts the focus of the game. In fact, is the majority of the game. I just think that there should have been a larger emphasis on the story. Obviously, not much they could do with the technology they had at the time, but still, I would have liked a bit more. What else? Music was surprisingly good. I didn't think it would be as good, but it is pretty good. It's not as incredible as the Prime games by Retro, but it is pretty good. And I do have to include 4 in that. 4 did actually have some banger jams that I was, just bobbing my head to constantly because it really made you feel good, even if the game made you feel bad. The music was doing the work, the majority of the work in 4. But the music is easily the weakest in this game, but still good. If I were to rate it, I want to say... I want to give it like a 6. But I know that's not the right number. It's got to be around a 4. 4, I'd say it's about on par with Corruption at a 4. I just think that there's a lot of issues that needed to be focused on, and a lot of issues that needed solving and resolving, and it just didn't quite hit as hard as it should. It's a good, fun, short game for the portable, but it could have still been better. Much like how Prime 3 was a good, fun cinematic story in the Metroid universe, but it still could have been better. A lot better, mind you. But I do enjoy both of them. I enjoy this one even more so now that I played through the whole thing. The Omega Cannon, easily best gun. Love it. But that's all I have to say on it. Well, now hold on. There's one more thing I could say on it. I think that Guerrilla Phase 2 could have been more innovative. I think that just because... Well, no, that's not true. I think Guerrilla Phase 1 could have been more innovative. Guerrilla Phase 1, as you saw, was a boss that you can just beat exclusively with one weapon, and that's the Power Beam. And I think there should have been a greater reliance on all of the weapon abilities you had up to that point. I didn't feel a need to use any of them for any reason. Guerrilla wasn't climbing on the roof, and so you had to zoom in with the trace weapon and blast him in the head or blast him in a weak point. There was a big blue spot on the back of Guerrilla, and it served no purpose, no value, no nothing. It did nothing. So that was weird. there was no... I could basically never freeze an enemy. I don't know if that's like just you had to fully charge it and then point blank them, but I could basically never freeze an enemy and gain any benefit from that. I don't understand the point of Volt, the Volt Blast and the Chain Lightning. I think both of those kind of serve the same purpose, and one of them serves visual confusion in multiplayer, but the other one is easily far better when you're playing as Sylex. Provided that you can hold your attack on the person and they don't have like a really good aim with Trace's weapon. It's the best weapon to have, and so, you know, Sylex easily the best to play in multiplayer. I mean, obviously not, but I think that the final boss could have used more. I think that the levels could have integrated the weapons better. I think that the puzzles were good. I think the levels were good. I think the design was great. I think the effort was phenomenal. A+ effort, but that does not affect points, same as graphics. Graphics do not affect the points. The points are everything else. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I'm going to say on it, as bathroom emergency is calling my name. I might cut that. That's all. If you watched till the end of the video, thank you, I appreciate it. If you didn't, doesn't matter, you're not here. Good night. In some parts of the world, good morning. And in case I don't see you, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon.